Welcome to Beyond the Voices, a podcast where impactful conversations spark change, amplify unheard stories, and inspire actions. Here, we give voices to the change makers, dreamers, the doers, and those who are shaping a better world. Whether it's innovation, advocacy, or personal journeys, every voice matters. Each week, we bring you compelling stories, deep insights, and transformative ideas from thought leaders, activists, and everyday heroes from around the globe. From untold stories of resilience or stories of groundbreaking perspectives, Beyond the Voices is your destination for meaningful conversations that leave a lasting impact. If you're ready to be inspired, challenged, and moved, this podcast is for you. Beyond the Voices, where impact meets inspiration. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Voices. Of course, it's your host, Charlene Clark Cura. And in this episode of Beyond the Voices, we sit down with John Hitta, and I hope I'm not pronouncing your name incorrectly. Right, so we sit down with John Eater to explore his dynamic journey through the music industry, entrepreneurship, and family life. From his role at Record 33 and involvement in PIINK BAMBII. I have to read my notes there, PIINK BAMBII, to make sure that I get it right. And recording, so his role at Record 33 and involvement in PIINK BAMBII. He'll tell us more about that. So the PIINK BAMBII project to launching a new business venture with his wife, the CE Center in Coral Spring. John shares the realities of building, evolving, and sustaining success. We will also dive into his new upcoming book that, of course, he will be telling us more about, right? And his personal experiences are shaping his message to inspire others. Let us now welcome none other than John Heater. First thing, John, let me ask you to pronounce the name properly, your surname, in case I butchered it. Did I butcher it?
All right. So yeah, my name is I go by John Hitta or DJ John Hitta, which is actually my stage name. And but today I'm going to be proper and I'm going to say my name is J.B. Barkley III. That is my actual real name.
Okay. 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 Awesome. So, is there anything that I might have left out that you want to share with our audience before we dive a little bit into our discussion today?
Oh no, you did really good. You did really good.
All right. So, based on all the things that you have been doing, let's talk a little bit about the music industry, your current role at Record 33. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So Record 33 is a company that I founded back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I've been in the music industry for quite some time. Then I pretty much been in the music industry probably 10 years prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I started Record 33 is because I was told no so many times. And I believe in
No.
myself and my capabilities of what I'm capable of.
Right.
I decided, you know what? I'm tired of the no's. I know what I'm capable of. Let me do my own thing.
Pause a little bit. Told no about what and by whom.
So around that time, my dream job was always to be an A&R for, some major label.
Mhm.
It's even down here locally, like companies like Slip and Slide, Po' Boy and stuff. And I've done projects with them. I did the Po' Boy exclusive mixtape.
Mhm.
Shout out to them for giving me an opportunity to get me, give me some accolades out there.
Mhm.
I worked with a project, the Pink Diamond Couture project, which was a project that they was trying to do for Trina the rapper, with some
Mhm.
sort of perfume. That was a project that was involved with Ted Lucas, and it didn't go as far as it could have. It was something that we was pitching and everything like that, but
Mhm.
it didn't really go anywhere that it could have at the time. But all
Mhm.
these different things was my way of trying to say, I'm here. I want an opportunity. So,
Right.
I was just trying to, do whatever I can, from even promoting songs and
Mhm.
stuff like that of these artists and everything like that. And when the time came, like, hey, I could produce, I could do this, I could do that, but the opportunities never presented itself. Not necessarily because they didn't want to, but I do understand sometimes they have other plans and other ideas. I just didn't fit into to those plans and ideas.
Right. Okay. So you were getting a lot of no's.
Yes, I was getting a lot of no's, and but I believed in myself. I never did. Never let it get to me, because I have a sales background, and I used to do a lot of sales, and they always say one no, gets you one step closer to a
To
yes.
a yes. Oh, awesome. And that is why it is important for us to always remember that somebody's perception of us should not define who we really are. Because if you had allowed those no's to define who you really are, or who you really were, or who you really aspire to become, then record 33 would not have been a reality. Am I correct?
That is very, very true. Very true. And I,
Mm-hmm.
I have I thank God for my parents. I have
Mm-hmm.
parents that although it wasn't they didn't understand the music industry, but they was very supportive in the fact that I was doing something. They understand now, but
Mm-hmm.
back then it was like, okay, if that's what you want to do.
Awesome. So record 33, it's your business.
It is my business. It's also along with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Both work within the label. And
Mm-hmm.
not only that, we do have the Pink Bambi project, which
Right.
surprisingly,
That's where I was going. That's where
yeah.
I was going. What is the Pink Bambi
So,
project? What
so
and your involvement in that? Yes.
oh man,
This
I'm
Pink
so
Bambi.
excited. See,
How did you arrive at Pink Bambi? Tell us a little bit about it.
so
Because
one
I'm so
day
wondering
I
what it
was
is.
filing my nails. I just have a little, oh, they pink. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what happened. But so, God, this is crazy. So Pink Bambi is actually my daughter. So again, it's a family.
Oh.
This is a family business. All right. So the name she had, I forgot what name she had before, but I was like, no, So I said, how about let's kind of marinate on the name, and let's come up with something really nice, really cool,
Mm-hmm.
cute, you know, and we came up with Pink Bambi.
Mm-hmm.
And she does a combination. She's an entertainer, obviously. She does rap and stuff. We actually have a song that we just released March the 6th
Awesome.
called "Enjoy My Life," and
Mm-hmm.
the very first single ever in the music industry. She did this collaboration with Maclesia Grind Mode, very
Mm-hmm.
famous group. Grind Mode, shout out to them. Love Grind Mode. Always
Mm-hmm.
been a big fan of Grind Mode from back in the day. And right now, the song is doing very well. Next week, Monday, we have a photo shoot for the Source magazine, and she is scheduled to debut in the Source magazine. The Source magazine, the first week of April.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so your record company produced her.
Yes, yes. I also produce, which, by the way, we do try to give other producers a chance, because hence the fact that's why I started Record 33 as well. Our record
Mhm,
label is very transparent, right? So we
mhm,
try to show other people, because the music industry can be very mysterious and stuff like
mhm,
that.
mhm,
People feel like you have to do some weird stuff just to just to get ahead. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there are people that do it. I'm not gonna lie.
mhm,
But I can promise you and assure you, with my experience, I never had to do no such thing. Everything that we've always done, about all the successes that Record 33 has had in the past, from appearing on the charts to all the way up to the point where we're at now, was all because of hard work, planning, strategic. We never had a major record deal. In other words, we never had a major come in and give us a huge budget. So everything that we've done has been self-funded. And,
Out
and
of
of
pocket.
course, you have to be strategic.
Yeah. Yeah. So PIINK BAMBII is actually your daughter who is
Yeah,
the project.
he is the project. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very.
Yeah, the interesting part was I was done with music when she came to me about it. I was retired from music. I wanted to focus on the other business that my wife and we have going on. And she's like, Dad, I really can do this. And I'm like, sure, kid, sure you can. I said, listen, long story short, I said, listen, if you're trying to do this for fun, hey, maybe I can give you some pointers, and you and your friends can go and do a karaoke night. But
Oh my God.
if you're trying to work with me,
You have to be serious.
I'm serious. This is a business to me, And she convinced me, and not only has she convinced me, but she has inspired me as well.
Yeah. She showed you the discipline that
Yeah.
that she's determined to succeed.
Yes, and I think the part that kind of gave me the goosebumps is she did 2 shows, um, and she came home one day, and I said, "Hey, how did it go?" And she looked at me straight in the eyes wired. Dad, I was born for this. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
I clutched my pearls. I'm like, ooh, okay. And ever since then, I must honestly admit, I'm very impressed by this young woman. I mean, the drive. She is real. She has developed a fan base. She's definitely had somebody who was very intricate in the process of developing her to be who she is. Her name is Ananka Dixon of Against All Odds music group. And let me tell you something, to any artist out there that is looking for development and stuff like that, you guys need to look her up and find her and try to hold her down and say, hey, I want to do this music thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was a very pivotal part of that.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So the entrepreneurship journey that started because of, and we're going back to the beginning
Yeah,
because we can't talk about anything before uh, uh, recognizing how it started. And
yeah,
it started on some news.
yeah,
Don't forget that, right?
yeah.
What really inspired you and your wife to start the CE Center? What is the CE Center, and how were you inspired to start the CE Center? Now, you started Record 33. Bambi, PIINK BAMBII, who is your daughter, became a project, was produced through Record 33. Now we're talking about the CE Center, continuing on your entrepreneurship journey. What
Yes.
is the CE Center and why? How were you inspired to
All
start
right. Oh man, that's a good one. So my wife and I were both nurses,
it?
professionally, and my wife wanted to get back into the business of emergency education, uh,
Mhm.
because emergency education is extremely important for us nurses and anybody in the field that must learn the proper way of basic life saving skills. All right.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we talked we talked about it, and she's like, hey, I really want to get back into this because this it does make money, and I feel like I am really good at teaching it. So I was like,
Mhm.
hey, okay, I'm totally down. I love to teach and assist and stuff like that. So let me tell you something about my wife. When my wife is determined,
She
nothing
is determined.
nothing
Yes.
stops her. It
Yes.
stops her. She's an amazing person. I must honestly, I am blessed to have her as a wife. So she's like, listen, I really want to do this, but she said the main thing I wanted to do is be the best out there of doing it, because I'm gonna be honest with you. They're in the nursing field or in the healthcare field. We all have to learn CPR, and depending on where you work, you have to be certified. But a lot
Mhm.
of times, even after getting training, some people still feel scared to do it. They get nervous to do CPR, or they try to avoid it at all costs. And I'm just being honest. Um, I I don't. I feel like this is a part of the game. Like I say, I'm blessed enough to be taught by some of the best people. Um,
Mhm.
so we felt like that. Hey, not only are we going to start this business up, she wanted to make this happen, but we wanted to make sure that when you leave our class, we want you to walk out of the classroom feeling like you can do this. So we have the state of the art equipment, feedback material, apps, Bluetooth enabled uh, mannequins. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And we're able to pinpoint with using technology where your strengths and weaknesses are with
Mhm.
doing CPR. So that way, when you get back to working on that hospital floor, or you're doing healthcare transportation where you're transporting patients, God forbid, if something should happen, you will have the confidence in knowing that you are fully capable of doing CPR. So we're not
Mhm.
just teaching the class, but we also going to have it where, people who have come to our class, we're able to give them some tutoring and some one-on-one. Like we're really able to help people who really just want to be good at their job, because it is scary. And so people have seen things where people have sued other people because of the CPR. But there are things that we can teach that lets people know, like, hey, you don't have to worry about those things. There are certain things in place that protects you as
Right.
a person trying to save a life. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
really cool.
So this is your business as well. This is something that you design, create, and have implemented.
Yes. So let
So
me
you're
just
currently training
Oh
persons.
yes, I am one of the trainers. My wife is the lead, and let
Mhm.
me tell you, we from creating the logo to getting
Mhm.
the classroom, my wife had all the vision mapped out. And I
Mhm.
know it's gonna sound corny, but yes, the was it yesterday or 2 days ago, we finally got our banner, and we hung our
Mhm.
banner up in the business, and
Mhm.
it's really cool because this is something that you can touch and feel, and
Mhm.
it's ours, and
Mhm.
it's right here in Coral Springs. So we've been very
Mhm.
blessed. So she was the visionary behind that. I definitely had. I always tell her, like, hey, hey, I just mixed and mastered some things. You sent me over the stuff. I did my little computer magic,
Magic.
and I sent it back over to you. But
Mhm.
it's our business, and not only that, this is a business that has that ability to affect not only the person who comes to learn, but also
Mhm.
those that the students that they come in contact with, their patient or their subject, where they have to save a life.
Awesome.
So this is a really good
Awesome.
business, and we're
Um,
certified too. So
awesome. So, I mean, it warms my heart to hear that because it sounds as though yes, it's a business, but it's
yeah,
very important because you're saving lives and you are training persons how to not just save lives, but because of fear and the perception of certain things. You spoke about the CPR, persons are afraid because they might get sued. People tend to withhold their services,
yes,
and that can cause a big problem. And you're making a great difference by saying,
yes,
hey, it can be done this way. There's no need to fear. There's
right,
no need to, all you need to do is to focus on what you're doing and do it properly, and then you will, and I find that to be very key, a key important factor in developing people, developing the mindset, shifting the paradigm toward, doing a greater good for
yes.
the country, so to speak.
Oh, thank you. Listen, that's all we want to do. That's my wife and I, we feel like that it's really our calling. I mean, my wife
Mhm.
definitely believed that her ministry is teaching, and
Mhm.
like my position is doing God's work as well. So it's really awesome to, be able to do this too, because I've seen my wife is has taught nursing school. She's had a school in the past called Nurse Learning Center. And
Mhm.
the lives that she has touched, they come to Nurse Learning Center to become a CNA. And some of these people now are nurse practitioners. As a
Oh,
matter of fact, one of our first people that came by our CE center that was just getting some pointers, because they are instructors too, was somebody my wife taught to be a CNA, and now she is a BSN nurse right now. So
awesome.
so my
Awesome.
wife has touched a
Congratulations.
lot of people's lives, and again, I'm just proud to be a part of that. My daughters also get a chance to see what it is to, be unselfish, and
Mhm.
see what it is to, change lives, and be a part of something and everything. So it's really really cool that to be able to share that.
Awesome, awesome. And despite the fact that you have been in business, you've been doing it, there must have been some challenges, because we want to tell people that challenges are not there to make you quit.
Right.
Yeah, or to have you lose hope. They're there to test you, to test
Absolutely.
your tenacity, to test your discipline, to test how much you want it, right? So, what are some of the challenges that you face and overcame?
Oh, well, always going one of the biggest challenges everybody's going to ever face is going to be finances and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
one of the biggest things that we had to had to work around with, especially trying to find a space in Coral Springs. Everybody knows Coral Springs it can be a little expensive, especially when you're looking for
Right,
office spaces. But see, me,
right.
I'm from Miami, and if you're from Miami, we're going to try to find the best price possible.
Mhm, mhm.
So, I'm a big believer in letting my wife, when she has a vision, I just, I come in when I need to. I don't try to, stymie her or anything like that. But if I see that she needs help with something, I'm like, hey, let me see what I can do. So another challenge can also be working together as a team, and communication is very important as well. And we overcame that by learning one another. And me being, because I'm a very like, I like to jump on and get it started, but you can't jump on and just do things unless you know what you're doing. So I had to listen, I had to understand. It's not always going to be easy, especially when you are a husband and wife team, or even a brother and sister team, or just a team that's so familiar with one another. It's almost like, oh my God, we can finish each other's sentence. So uh, it can always be a challenge with communication, but we overcame it just by, just taking a break, letting each other know, hey, this is what I need, or she'd say, hey, this is what I need, because I want you to understand this, because I want to make sure I'm conveying this clearly to you. Um, but taking it back to the finances, that was one of the biggest things too. I tried to make sure that we was able to get the best deal practical possible. I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
she was able.
I'm practical. It has to be practical as well.
Right, right. It has to be practical. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, it has to be practical as well, but get the best deal possible. But she was able to negotiate, and I told her, I said, hey, listen, you know, ask her for, yeah, go ahead, ask her to get a discount. Yeah, absolutely, go ahead. So we wanted to make sure we work with what was comfortable for us, because again, having a space, that's overhead, you know, and
Mhm,
another thing that a lot of people will find challenging, because I know people ready to quit their job just to
mhm,
chase their dream. The blessed thing about us is that we did talk about that, and I said, listen, we're going to continue to work. But I think we're very blessed to be in the capacity that we in, especially as nurses, where it doesn't feel like work really. So we're able to have that energy. She only works 3 days out the week, so she's able to prepare for the class and everything like that. When we do,
mhm.
and I work 5 days a week, but it's no big deal. I love what I do. So I
When
told
you
her.
you do, it doesn't feel like
It
work.
does not feel like work. So I told her, I said, one thing you don't have to worry about is issues with, the overhead or anything like that. So yeah, so it can be very challenging. I think the biggest position that you can find out to make it easy is just know what your role is, where your strengths and
Hmm.
weaknesses are, and
Hmm.
play to those,
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's how we've been able to work it through. It's not easy. I'm just going to be honest.
It's
It's
never
not
gonna be easy.
right.
But
And I
I
can tell
believe
you, my
people
wife,
need to hear these stories because sometimes they will see the glory, but they don't see the pain behind the glory,
exactly.
right? They don't see how you had to start. They don't see the nights you had to be up. They don't see
Right,
the multiple meetings you had to attend. They don't see the sleepless night. They
right,
see, the result of the hard work, but they don't see the hard work that you put in. And sometimes persons believe that it is easy, but
right,
unless we tell them of the challenges that you faced, they will always believe that it's easy and then try to do their own business. And when they meet up on challenges, what do? They quit because they're
right,
looking at the end product and they're not looking at all the ingredients that combined to
right,
give you that end product. So it's always good to share the challenges that you faced while doing your business.
right. Well, yeah, after she gets over the challenge of me, then the business is actually the easy part. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I'm not
No.
ashamed to admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. No, but I just be excited, man. I'd be excited, man. We're like, oh yeah, come on, let's get it done. I'm excited. But I'm a big cheerleader. I love sharing these type of stories because I really do hope that, again, just going back to the whole reason I started Record 33 about the nose. When you share
Yeah.
these type of stories, it helps people to realize like, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh,
Mhm.
it's a part of the journey. You know, so
Mhm.
so yeah, you're absolutely right. I watched other people's journey. I've watched people on social media and watch how their journey has helped them to get to the next level with with the perseverance and the sacrifices and everything like that. And that's what motivates me.
Awesome. And I know we're coming up to the hour, but I will not leave because viewers, if you believed record 33 was it, nah. Then he told you about the project Bambi, PIINK Bambi, who actually is his daughter, who is a rapper, right? A music
Yeah,
artist. And that wasn't enough because he told you about the CE Center. But that wasn't enough because he still has energy and he still has time. And so
yeah.
now we want to hear a little bit about your upcoming book, the book
Oh,
that will be published soon. Tell
yes.
me, first and foremost, share the title with us. Tell me the
Yes.
story behind that project.
Okay, so the name of the book right now with the working title is Amoshet. And for many many years I'm a big nerd. I love science fiction. I love the idea and the thought of traveling the galaxy, and stuff like that. And but growing up, I'm 45 years old, and growing up, everybody knows one of the biggest science fiction stories was Star Wars. you know
Star Wars.
and
Yeah.
but as great as Star Wars was, I didn't see a lot of us.
Right,
And
right.
and I'm gonna be quite honest with you. If you really want to know how the fandom feels, like lately in recent history, in recent years, uh, Disney has tried to, incorporate more, inclusion of different characters of different multiculturals background and stuff like that, and the fandom really showed their true colors and how much they didn't like it by making racist comments and stuff like that.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
even with anime, we've had several black young ladies, like in their lives because the fandom then bullied them into such a point where they really just felt like life wasn't worth living. And all they was doing is just showing their love for their favorite anime character. And yes, that anime character might have been of a different race per se. Nevertheless, they loved that character. So my book is it's a little bit different. It's a science fiction book that I'm working on that where everybody will be able to see themselves in this book. And not only that, I called it localized science fiction. Okay, whereas you had Star Wars, which had an expanded universe in a galaxy far, far away. In this case, my book is going to touch on this actual galaxy that we live in, even our solar system, because our solar system is so mysterious. There's a lot of mysterious things that we have in our solar system, like the different planets, the asteroid belt. I mean, nobody never asked questions like, how did it get there? So we're going to tell these stories in this book. It's really meant to really take people on a journey. It's going to be very easy to follow the story because everything takes place in our solar system. It just took place millions and millions of years ago. So this is going to be pretty cool. This to give you an idea. So for example, how we carbon date stuff here to say, oh, this is 1,000 years old. But what if I was to tell you, like, now again, this is just a story. I don't have any proof of this, but this is just a story. I was to tell you that we have it all wrong in carbon dating. Carbon dating needs to add a couple of more zeros to that, you know what I'm saying? So this civilization existed millions of years ago, and it was at a time where we was at a pinnacle. As you know, we always today try to figure out, oh, how the pyramids were made and stuff like that. We can never recreate. But in that time, it was very easy to do. So my book is going to touch on that. It's going to be a story of love. It's going to be a story of twin brothers that is trying to find their way, and it's going to leave you asking the question, who's really the bad guy?
Wow.
Yeah. Which one is really the bad guy? So it's a really cool story. It's a really cool story. I was very inspired to write this book. Again, same reason I wrote Record 33, or I started Record 33. It's the same reason why I was motivated to do this book, because we need more stories that where we can see ourselves in.
That has a lot of diversity. Yes,
Correct.
diversity that represents
diversity and inclusion is not bad. I mean, I grew up in a time where when we was in the 4th and the 5th grade, we used to do a board of the world, and people pick a part of the map, and we had to bring in a dish or something. Like one year I had Poland, and I bought Polish sausages, and I just remember how much I ate them things, and I had to get another pack of Polish sausages. So it's just so crazy now how we feel like it's a bad thing, but no, inclusion is a great thing because everybody has something to offer, and that's what this book is going to show. That's
a core message that you want your readers to leave with.
Exactly. The core message is that everybody plays a role in this planet that we call Earth. Everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and if we were to come together and realize, oh, you're weak there, but I am strong there, we can come together and thrive. And that is what you will see in this book. It's a whole lot more in this book, but I really think that you're going to be in for a treat once it's finished.
When will it be ready for readers?
So I know that's the question of the day, because I have a lot going on. So I am committing to it being the first official draft to be done by the end of the summer. And with that draft being done, if it goes through the process of, edits and stuff, hopefully I should have something that I could probably give to you to preview the book itself, so you get an idea of as far as with this story, because I know you've been waiting for it. I have let some people in my circle read first few chapters of the book,
Mhm.
they want more.
Yes.
I love it. And these are people that are not really into science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them, why weren't you into science fiction? They say, oh, because it's just so much going on and stuff. But this doesn't feel like science fiction. It feels easy to follow. You know,
Mm-hmm. And
like
like you said, with the inclusion of the diversity, I guess people will, now be interested in
right,
reading. And
right, right,
plus, you could, I mean, who to tell? You're an entrepreneur who is always going, and you are filled with ideas,
right.
motivation. Maybe the book will become a movie.
Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, I'm gonna somebody. Other people have said that, especially
Just
those.
let me be the main character.
You know what? I know this is going to sound like I'm becoming a fanboy right now, but one of my favorite producers and directors, I would love for him to get a copy of this book, would be Ryan
Hmm.
Coogler. Um,
Hmm.
I became a fan of Ryan Coogler after the first original Black Panther movie,
Hmm.
because prior to that movie, we didn't really have. I mean, there's always been Black heroes and stuff like that, but we never really get the kind of budget to make a big,
Good,
good.
good movie that have that
Right.
impact. Hmm.
Let me tell you something. That movie, Black Panther, had people believing in something. People, I mean, from it changed the culture, it changed the narrative, it changed the culture,
Hmm.
it impacted the culture so much so that you had airlines saying flights to Wakanda leaving today. You had people
Hmm.
walking around saying
Hmm.
Wakanda forever. I mean, it was, oh my God. I think I saw that movie several times over. I was so inspired from the soundtrack to just everything. I mean, I was just wow. And it broke a lot of records, you know? And to see, and I always said, Disney has an eye. Kevin Feige has an eye for talent. You know,
Hmm.
Kevin Feige liked to give, some unknown directors a chance because that's what happened with him, right? So he's paying it forward. And I
Hmm.
said to people, I said, Ryan Coogler is going to be the man. He's going to change the game. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be that guy. And
Hmm.
look what happened. Here we are, years later, and his movie, an original movie, Sinners, wins an Oscar.
Right, right. So, Ryan, I don't know if you're listening.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know if
This is a movie that you need to produce.
yes, yes. I would love for him. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Mansa Musa movie that he has in the works right now. That is going to be amazing. But let me tell you, if I was ever, I can assure you, if he was to get a copy of this book, I definitely know he would probably see it and be like, wow, because a
All
lot
right, so
of people have
I'm
seen it before.
waiting.
I
I'm
know,
waiting.
I know, I know.
From the first time we spoke, and you told me about this book, and you gave me the idea behind it. I'm like, interesting.
Yes.
So you have me here waiting. So
Yes, yes, yes. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Listen, I other people's on my riding my butt. They're like, "Hey, is it finished yet? Is it finished yet?" And
all
I'm
right.
making a commitment right here on your show that it is the draft is going to be done by the end of the summer, and that is the goal. I have yet about a few chapters left to go, and we're going to knock
Mhm.
it out. And I'm like I say, I do believe in this project with this book so much
Mhm.
so that I plan on making it into a trilogy. So
Mhm. Mhm.
and again, it's going to be it's science fiction, all right. And
Mhm.
I keep implementing that because when you start reading the book, it gives people that like, oh, I never thought about that. Maybe that's true. No, no, it's science fiction. Science fiction.
Mhm.
You know.
With a story behind it, it's science fiction with a difference.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
It's a type of science fiction that, you can touch and feel. And I know it sounds kind of weird saying that, but when you're taking what I call again like localized science fiction, and say, using things that you see every day and incorporating it into a fictional story, but the way it's being incorporated is incorporated in such a way that it makes you think. That is the ultimate goal of this book. It's meant to, yes, it's science fiction, but it's really meant to make you think, you know. Even like in my book, I am going to show in my story how they actually, create the pyramids. It's going to be described
Oh,
in
wow.
detail when the king makes the request for one to be built. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have a theory. I'm a history nerd, and I do like philanthropy, and I do like archaeology. So I like the study of not the study, but I love the charitable aspect of how philanthropy and archaeology kind of go hand in hand, because you have a lot of philanthropists donating to a lot of these historical sites, and the
Mhm.
more that they donate to these sites, the more that they're able to research and everything. And the more they research, it's like the more new stuff that's coming out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm glad I didn't finish the book, because now I can put that in. So
Mhm.
I'm taking these different things, and I have these theories that run around in my head, of how certain things was done, because everybody thinks that, I'm just going to give you a clue. Everybody thinks that they just cut the brick and bought it there, but nobody
Yeah.
has never actually took a really good look at those bricks that they have.
Bricks, yeah,
That,
the patterns,
right,
how they're fitted, how they're designed.
right. Nobody
There
has.
is more, there is more to it than just cutting the brick and bringing it there.
What if there was never bricks at all?
Oh,
What if they were never bricks at all?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And if you look at other cultures, like in South America, like Puma Punko, and how the rocks, they don't look quite like rocks. They look like,
mm-hmm,
you know, and they
mm-hmm,
still try to find the quarry where they come from. But
mm-hmm,
who's to say there was? Who's to say that they were bricks when they were stacked? You know.
mm-hmm,
So,
yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. I'm giving you a little clue of how things are going to be working in this society in my book and stuff like that. But
Mhm,
it's gonna be really cool, man. I got some really cool action scenes in there. Like some of the characters, I have a character in the book that's one of my favorite characters, and I think I think a lot of youngsters might be able to relate to it, because they probably play a lot of Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. But it's not inspired by Mortal Kombat, but you get an idea, because if you look at like history, like with some of like armors and stuff that was worn by our previous ancestors and stuff, sometimes they would have weapons that was attached to like their armor and everything like that, for intimidation purposes. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Character in my book, not only is he has weapons attached to his armor and to what he wears, but he also has it in his hair too. So
oh,
he
too
he
much, too much.
oh,
Leave,
oh
leave,
okay.
leave it,
All
leave
right,
it.
I don't want to. Listen. All right.
Leave
I don't,
it, please,
I don't want to give
please.
too much. I don't want to give too much, but these characters are going to be very awesome and very unique and very relatable too. Every character is going to have a story, and that's why I say it almost going to make you wonder, like, well, who's the bad guy here?
Mhm, mhm,
And like I really like this character. Now I can understand why he feels the way he feels, or she feels the way she feels, but I mean, is he wrong? Is she wrong? I want that book to create that narrative, like how Star Wars, you have people that identified with the Jedi, and you have people that
mhm,
identify with the Sith, which is the dark side, and each side kind of had their rationale for why. Oh, I identify with the Sith because of whatever, or I identify with the Jedi because of whatever. So I want this book to definitely raise those type of questions and stuff like that too.
awesome. I can't wait for it. Now we've come to the end, but I want to hear from you because based on your story, but before I get there, I don't want to answer the question for you. In your view, do you believe success is built on talent or consistency?
Ooh, I believe success is built on consistency, because even with talent, you can be you may not become successful, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
consistency, the continuation of trying, and overcoming obstacles, and
Mm-hmm.
and then using your talent to overcome those obstacles, or even, trying to find out, okay, with my talent, how can I make that part of me stronger to overcome that obstacle? Let me do some research. Consistency is going to always win out every time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, you can have the talent, but if I decided right now to just decide to stop doing everything, you know what they're going to say? Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
he's so talented. Why does he decide to just be a couch potato for it? Oh my God, he has so much talent. But no, consistency 100% wins every time.
Exactly. Talent is just talent. And if you don't practice with your talent, that's what it's going to be, talent. You're a talented person. You'll be known as a talented person. But to turn talent into success requires discipline and consistency. And I asked you that question because your success is built on consistency,
Yes.
from where you start and where you're going. And I don't know if you have an end. The next time I speak to you, you might be working on 10 other projects. But I recognize that it's built on consistency. Now, here's what I'm going to do before we close out. I want you to leave a final word with our audience.
Okay.
I want you to tell them about all the projects that you have, where they can find you, especially for persons who are interested in the training,
Okay.
CPR training. I want you to tell them where they can find you, and then we'll close out. So the stage is actually yours.
All right. Awesome. Now I can do my little song and dance. All right. All right. So yes, we for Record 33, we do have a website. It's www.record33ent.com. Again, that website is www.record33ent.com. We have all our social media and everything on that website, as well as the PIINK BAMBII song, and also her tour dates and other events coming up as well. Um, so please connect with us. And again, if you are an artist or a producer and you just want to get some, you just want, to bounce some ideas off, or you have questions, we do have a form on our website where you can reach out to us, and we'd be glad to, answer the questions that you may have. And also, if you want to submit productions, we're always open to giving producers a chance and stuff like that. So we're open to that. Also, it's the cecenter.org. Again, that's www.thececenter.org. Again, we do BLS, ALS, first aid, and pretty soon we're going to be offering continuing education for those who need to get their credit hours for their license to meet their requirements. And again, when you go to that site, you can also visit us on Instagram and Facebook as well. And that's all. And the book is coming soon.
The book is coming soon. So once the book is out, you can connect with him and you will know where you can purchase your copy. The book is coming soon. I want to say thank you, John. Thank you for being a part of today's Beyond the Voices podcast.
No, it was all mine.
I must share that your insights, experiences, and also your authenticity truly made this conversation an impactful one. And we appreciate you sharing your journey, not only with us, but with our audience as well, because it's a journey that, you trod the journey, you trod the route, and you're the best person to come on here to tell persons about the challenges and your successes, right? We at BTV, Beyond the Voices, we wish you continued success with all your projects, your upcoming book, and the incredible work that you're doing. We look forward to staying connected. Thank you so very much.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a privilege being here on your show. And next time I come back, I will be coming back with the book.
You better. This has been Beyond the Voices, where impact meets inspiration.